Let me show you the absolutely easiest way possible to work with forms in React. This is React Hook Form. React Form Hook is the best way to handle forms in React as of now. It's better than Formic, it's better than Redux Form, it's better than Final Form, it's better than anything else. Let's see why and how does it work. Let's say we have very simple form. It has only email or login and password and a submit button. Here is how it looks in browser. It's just email field, test.com and password. What we want to do with this form is we want to get the data from it. So we want to get an object, ideally, with valid fields, email and password. And also we want to perform validation. So if something is wrong with our form, we want to get an errors object to display errors inside our form, right? Now look at this. I've already imported useForm. It's a hook, so we can use it inside of our functional components. If I call this hook, I will get 3 variables. It will be register, handle submit, and errors. And we call use form. Now we pass register to our inputs as a ref. This is a way for React Hook Form to handle and track changes in your inputs. And this is super neat because now you don't need to track value and on-change events manually. So I just pass register. And as you can see, I pass same reference, same register to both inputs. Okay, now we need to handle submit. What we do is we type on submit and we pass handle submit to our form. But we also need to do something with our data. After it gets validated and we get the valid data out of our form, we want to send it to some server. So I define onSubmit function. It will be a function that will just get data and it will output it to the console. Okay, now we can take our onSubmit function and pass it to handle submit. So we wrap our onSubmit function into handle submit and pass our onSubmit as a callback. When form will be submitted and validated, we will get processed data object with all the data from our form. But before we go to error handling, let's see how easy it is to get data from our form. I will remove the errors object and now we'll switch to the browser. I will fill in email, test.com and password 123 and I click submit. Look at this. We just got our data. I was logging it to the console if you remember, and it just has the data that we passed there, and it just has the data extracted from our form. Now let's handle errors. You can specify the validation rules by passing them as optional argument, as an object of optional arguments to register function. So let's say I want to make the password field required. So I write required true. Let's also say that I want to have password no shorter than 8 symbols. Min length 8. Let's format the document and go back to the browser. Now let's try to submit. Now we see that we don't get the data because form is invalid and because password field is required but we didn't fill in any data. Now we can display errors. Let's get our errors object and just below our password input we will say errors password and paragraph with text password is invalid. So now if password will be invalid, for example it's empty, or it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, it became valid, or it's shorter than 8 symbols, it will be invalid. As you can see, it updates the form dynamically. You can also pass an error message instead of just Boolean value for required field. For example, we can say password required in caps lock. Now we don't need to have this text hard-coded here. So we can say errors, password, and here we say errors, password, message. Now let's go back to the browser and press submit. And we get our error message. If you have fields like min length, where you need to pass the value as well, then you can pass an object instead with value that is still 8 and message too short. Let's try it again. Now we'll fill in the password, but it will be too short, just 3 symbols. Submit. And we get too short message. And these were just basics. If you like this video, press like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and let me know in the comments if you are interested in React form hooks. Did you like it? Will you use it in your projects? See you next time.